and today we are going to start with the chapter 2, Kingdom Planting. So students, if we talk about our earth, so there is a large number of living organisms are present. They are present in the form of animals, in the form of plants and in the form of microorganisms. And if you talk about animals, there is a variety of animals are present, variety of plants are present and variety of microorganisms are present. But in this chapter, here we are going to talk about the wide variety of plants. So what would be the characteristics which will be qualified, which will be make them to qualify to the part of kingdom planting? So there must be some characteristics of the kingdom planting. So what are those common characteristics? So those common characteristics will be, they will be eukaryotes, they will be multicellular, and they will be showing photosynthetic mode of nutrition, they will be immobile, they will be aquatic, maybe they will be in fresh water or salty water, they have a cell wall present. So what is the characteristics of eukaryotes? So if we talk about the eukaryotes, so as we all know, there are two kinds of cells are present. One is prokaryote and another one is eukaryotes. So what is the significance of eukaryotes? What are the characteristics of eukaryotes? So there will be a distinct nucleus will be present in the cell, and all the organisms will be a membrane bound. As if you talk about prokaryotes, so what happens there? There is a true nucleus will be absent. So here the plants will be eukaryotes, means there will be a membrane bound organelles and all the like true nucleus will be present. Now the second important characteristic of kingdom planting, they will be multicellular. Means as there are two kind of living organisms are present, unicellular as well as multicellular. So here the organism will be a multicellular, means there will be a number of cells will be present in the form of millions of cells, billions of cells or trillions of cells. So they will be multicellular. Now they will show photosynthetic mode of nutrition. As we all know that the plants are autotrophs. They can make their own food in the presence of sunlight. As if you see the process photosynthesis. So photo means light and synthesis means they can make their own food. So if we talk about photosynthesis, so plants can make their food in the presence of several raw materials like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. So students, what we can say, they not only nourish themselves, in fact all the living organisms directly or indirectly dependent on the plants for their food or their nutrition. Now, so the plants will be autotrophs also. And the next important characteristic is they are immobile. So what is the meaning of immobile? Unlike animals, like animals has to move from one place to another place for what? For their food, for their shelter. But the plants are immobile. They do not move from one place to another place. So this will also be an important characteristic of the plant or kingdom planting. Now, if we talk about the habitat of the plants, so plants are found everywhere, whether it is a cold region, icy region, desert region. They are also they can be aquatic, they can be terrestrial. They are also found in fresh water, marine water, salty water. Means they habitat everywhere, whether it is a land or pond. Now, a very important characteristic of plant is there is a cell wall present. Like if we talk about animal cell, so what was there? There is no cell wall present. But in animal cells, cell wall will be present. So what is the role of cell wall? It will be provide the rigidity to the plant. So what we can say that one more important characteristic of the plant will be there is a cell wall present. Now, so if we take the example, so there are huge variety of plants are present in the form of large trees, small trees, coconut tree, many kind of flowering plants are present. They are climbers, creepers. So whether they are plants, they show all those characteristics, like they will be eukaryotic, they can be multicellular, they will be showing photosynthetic mode of nutrition, they will be immobile, they will show different kind of habitat like aquatic, freshwater, salty water, and inland. Other than this, a most important characteristic of plant, cell wall will be surely present. And so students, there is a variety of plants are present on our earth, like so as if you talk about, so these are the very normal characteristic of plant. But if you see that there are many plants which are like aquatic, where are there many plants which are desert. So if you see that similarities and dissimilarities, you will be found there are lot of dissimilarities will be there. Instead they have these characteristics, they resemble. So how can we say? So it is also very important, we cannot study about each and every plant separately. So because of that, we have to also sub-classify the plant according to their other characteristics, like their mode of nutrition, their habitat, how do they reproduce, their lifestyle. So these are so because of that, we are going to further classify the plants. So students, if you remember, we have earlier we also discussed about the classification system of the plant. So where we have discussed about 2 kingdom classification system, 3 kingdom classification system, but what was the most acceptable classification system? So it was the 5 kingdom classification system, according to which plants, kingdom plantae is like all the kingdoms are classified. So we are going to take a quick review of that 5 kingdom classification system. So students, now we are going to discuss about what is classification, as we are just going to take a quick review. So what is the meaning of classification? Why do we need to classify the organism into separate kingdom? So as we all know that there is a diversity of living organisms are present. They show different kinds of mode of nutrition, they show different kinds of reproduction and different kinds of life cycle. So what is the classification? So classification means to check the similarities and dissimilarities of the particular organism. Means if they are more similar, they will be grouped in a same category. It means they are sharing the same ancestor. As if they are showing a dissimilarities, means they will be classified into a different groups. So this was the 5 kingdom classification system which was proposed by the R.H. Whitaker in 1969. So what was the why do we take the 5 kingdom classification system? As earlier there were many kind of classification system, like 2 kingdom classification, 3 kingdom classification system, but the 5 kingdom system was more acceptable kind of classification system, as it was proposed by the R.H. Whitaker. So here we have taken the phylogenetic relationship of the organism. So what is phylogenetic relationship? So if we talk about the phylogenetic, phyllo means it is something related to the phylum, as about the race or tribes of an organism. And if we talk about the genetic, so genetic means what kind of their inheritance they are showing. So here, like phylogeny means it is related to the evolution of an organism. It is related to the similarities and dissimilarities of the organism. So what criteria used by the Whitaker for this? He took the cellular organization, means whether the organism is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Other than this, the next criteria was what kind of body organization they are showing, means whether they are unicellular or a multicellular. Then he also checked what kind of mode of nutrition the organism is showing, that whether the organism is autotrophic or the heterotrophic. Then what kind of lifestyle is he showing, like whether the organism is producer, composer or consumer or a decomposer. So it was all about the criteria which has been taken for the 5 kingdom classification system by the R.H. Whitaker. So if you see that Firstly, he checked the cellular organization, like whether the organism is prokaryotic or a eukaryotic. So if the organism will be prokaryotic, it means that there is no true nucleus, means a true nucleus will be absent. So the kingdom will be Monera. And what will be the examples of Monera? Like lot of blue-green algae and bacteria will be coming in the category of kingdom Monera. Now, if you talk about the eukaryotic, so eukaryotic means a cell have a nucleus will be a distinct nucleus will be present, and all the organelles will be a membrane bound. So here, if you now what he checked, cellularity. What is the level of cellularity? Whether the organism is unicellular or a multicellular. So if the organism will be come in that category of unicellular, it will be the kingdom Protista. Like many, you can take the example of amoeba, euglena. So all will be coming in the category of kingdom Protista. Then what they checked? If the organism is multicellular, so whether the organism has cell wall absent or the cell wall present. So if the cell wall will be present, it can be further divided into a autotrophic and heterotrophic. So if cell wall is present, the organism obviously will be come in the category of plant. So now they will check whether it is what kind of mode of nutrition the particular living organism is showing. So if the organism is autotrophic, means what is the meaning of autotrophic? They can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So the organism will be a kingdom Plantae. So the organism who all can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight with the help of raw material like carbon dioxide and water. So the organism will be coming in the category of kingdom Plantae. But if an organism lack chlorophyll, so like there are many plants like fungi, so there is a chlorophyll will be present, absent. So because of that, they will be dependent on the autotrophic on the plants. So they will come in the category of kingdom fungi. Here cell wall will be present, but the organism can be autotrophic or a heterotrophic. If organism will be autotrophic, it will be coming in the category of kingdom Plantae. Like we all know that all the plants can make their own food. Now, if whether cell wall is present but chlorophyll absent, the organism cannot make their own food. So they will be dependent on the plants. So the kingdom will be a fungi. But here we'll also check whether cell wall is present or absent. So what we have seen here, cell wall is absent. So the organism will be coming in the category of kingdom Animalia. So it was all about the 5 kingdom classification system which was proposed by the R.H. Whitaker, and he has taken the phylogenetic relationship of an organism. So what was the criteria for that? It was the cellular organization, means whether the organism is prokaryote or eukaryote. Then further what we have seen, what he did, he had seen that whether if the organism is eukaryotic, so whether it is what kind of cellularity they are showing, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. So if the organism will be unicellular, it will become in the category of kingdom Protista. Then if the organism is multicellular, it is further will be divided into whether the cell wall is present or cell wall is absent. So cell wall is present in the plant cell. Now what is the role of cell wall? So it actually provides the rigidity to the plant. Now if cell wall will be present, then we'll see what kind of mode of nutrition the particular living organism is showing. So here it is autotrophic, means an organism can make their own food. So it will become in the category of kingdom Plantae. But if there is lack of chlorophyll and they are dependent on the plants, so the kingdom will be a kingdom Fungi. Now if a cell wall will be absent, the living organism will become in the category of kingdom Animalia. So students, it was about the 5 kingdom classification system.
No more spending your energy and money on coaching classes. or missing classes for rain, for rally, and any other nonsense. Subjects covered by multiple teachers with repeat telecasts. Doubts, concepts, applications, no problem. All explained through great and significant animation. So sit back comfortably in your home and watch Study Spectrum TV channel.
So students, now as earlier we have discussed about the 5 kingdom classification system, and we also have seen that what are the main characteristics of the living organisms that they are going to become a part of kingdom planting. So now, as we all know that there are different kinds of plants are present, they have a different kind of variety of plants are present, like some are water, some are living like aquatic plants, whereas some are marine plants, some are live in desert. So it is also important, as here we have discussed about the variety of plants, so it is difficult to study about each one by one. So we also what do we do in plants, we will also sub-classify the plants into a different groups. So what is the basis of sub-classification of plants? So number one, the differentiation of plant body into tissues. Like students, what is the meaning of differentiation? As if you see the plants, you can see, you can easily see there whether it is stem, where is leaves, where is roots are present. So it means here, if we talk about that normal kind of plant, so there all the part of the plants will be clearly visible, like stem, leaves, branches and roots. But there are many plants, they do not show a very clear differentiation of plant body. So we will also take this example for the basis of classification. The next thing is ability to bear seed. So students, there are many plants who bear seeds, like mango tree, lot of angiosperms, but there are many plants that they do not bear any kind of seed. So we will also check whether they are bearing the seed or not. Now the next criteria will be what type of seeds the plant bear, whether it is naked or covered. So what will we check in the sub-classification? That if the seed is present in the plant, so we will see whether the seed is naked. Like there are many plants, they have seed but it is naked. But in other plants, like if you see the angiosperms, here seeds are present but they are covered. So we will also see what kind of seeds, what type of seed is present. So it was some basis of the classification, sub-classification of the plant. So now students, broadly plants are classified into two groups. One is cryptogamy and another one is a phanerogamy. So if we talk about the cryptogamy, so what is the means of crypto? So if you see the cryptos means concealed and gamy means marriage. Means here a marriage will be related to something reproductive part. So if we talk about the cryptogamy plants, here a reproductive structure will be concealed. It cannot be seen. The reproductive part will be something hidden. And other than this, they reproduce sexually by gametes, but the sex organs are concealed. So here what we can say, cryptos means concealed and gamy means marriage. So the member of cryptogamy are spore producing plants. They do not produce any kind of flower and seeds. So it is all about the cryptogamy, where reproductive part will be present but it will be hidden somewhere. Now phanerogamy. So what is the meaning of phanerogamy? So actually commonly they are called the seed plants. Phaneros means visible. So what happens in phaneros? They produce special special reproductive structure that will be visible. So phaneros means it will be visible. So here the plants are again broadly classified into two categories. Cryptogamy means cryptos means concealed, means they have a hidden reproductive structure, and phanerogamy, they are the seed plants and they have a visible visible reproductive structure, and they will become in the category of phanerogamy. So what group cryptogamy include? It includes algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. Like if we talk about the cryptogamy, so it will be include the algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. But phanerogamy will include the seed bearing plant. The plant, they have seed, but what kind of seed they are bearing, whether the plant will be gymnosperm or a angiosperm. So it is all about the basis of classification for the plant. So firstly, what basis they have taken? They have taken differentiation of plant body. Means what kind of differentiation a particular plant is showing. As if you see the lot of flowering plants, so you can see there is a visible stem, visible kind of leaf, roots, all are the properly differentiated. But there are some plants, like if we talk about algae, bryophytes, so they do not have a visible or a clear structure of the plant. They have a something thallus-like structure. And other than this, we also check the ability to bear seed. Now, if the plant is well differentiated, so whether it bearing the seed or not. Like there are many plants, they do not bear seeds. Now, what kind of seed the plant is bearing, whether it is naked or covered. So, because of all these characteristics, plants are broadly classified into two categories, cryptogamy and a phanerogamy. Cryptogamy means yes, there is a reproductive structure is present. They reproduce sexually, but here the reproductive structure is concealed. Whereas in phanerogams, they also produce sexually and they are the seed bearing plants, and here a reproductive structure is visible. As the meaning itself says, phaneros means visible. So it is all about the sub-classification of the plant kingdom. So students, now we are going to discuss about the what are the basis of sub-classification. As earlier what we have seen, what is the 5 kingdom classification system. Now as we have seen that the plants will be multicellular, and we have also seen the cell wall will be present, they will be they will show the autotrophic mode of nutrition. So because all these are the simple characteristics through which we define the kingdom planting. But if we are going to describe it again, so we all know that there is a diversity of plants are present. Some are desert plants, some are aquatic plants. So if you see the aquatic plants, you will be find there is a lot of dissimilarities between a aquatic plant and the desert plant. So again, it is important to sub-classify the plant according to their some more characteristics, their similarities and about their dissimilarities. So if you see what are the basis of sub-classification, means differentiation of plant body into tissues. So it means like what is the meaning of differentiation of plant body? It means whether the plant is completely differentiated into root, shoot, stem, branches. So it is so there are many plants, they show a clear distinction between the root, stem, plant, branches, but there are many plants, they are not clearly differentiated. Other than this, we are also check the ability to bear seed. Like whether, like we all know that there are many kind of plants are present. Some bear the seeds. Like what is the characteristic of seed? The plant reproduce again with seeds. But there are many plants, they do not need seed to reproduce again. So we will also check what kind of ability to bear seed. Now the next is types of seed. Now if whether the seed is present, so it is naked or covered, means what kind of seed a plant is bearing. It can be, seed can also be of two types, naked and covered. Like if you talk about the flowering plants, so here seeds are covered, they have fruits, they have seeds. And if you see, there are many plants, like if you talk about the gymnosperms, which we are going to study, they have a naked seed. So we will also see whether the seed is covered or naked. Now because of all these characteristics, plants are broadly classified into two groups. One is cryptogamy and another one is a phanerogamy. So if you talk about the cryptogamy, so cryptos means concealed, means here reproductive organs will be present but they will be hidden somewhere. Now, if we talk, so here what happens, that the plants sexually reproduce, means the member of cryptogamy are spore producing. They will produce the spores. They will not produce the any kind of flower and seeds. So here they will produce the sexually, but the reproductive part will be concealed. You cannot see the reproductive part, and they will produce by the spores. Now, if we talk about the phanerogamy, phaneros means visible, means here reproductive structure is visible. They produce special reproductive structures that are visible. That's why they are called the phaneros. Means here the plants will be a seed plant. They will be commonly called a seed plant. So if we talk about the cryptogamy, so here cryptogamy will be consist of algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. So these are the plants which do not bear any kind of seed, and phanerogamy here our reproductive structure will be hidden or concealed. But if we talk about the phanerogamy, it will be consist two major groups. One is gymnosperm and another one is angiosperm. So gymnosperm and angiosperm will be a flower bearing plant, and gymnosperm naked seed will be present. So it is all about the broadly classified classification of a plant, where the plants are classified into subgroups according to their cryptogamy and a phanerogamy. So it is all about the basis of subclassification of plants.
No more spending your energy and money on coaching classes, or missing classes for rain, for rally, and any other nonsense. Subjects covered by multiple teachers with repeat telecasts. Doubts, concepts, applications, no problem. All explained through great and significant animation. So sit back comfortably in your home and watch Study Spectrum TV channel.
Earlier we have seen that all the plants are further sub-classified into a two group, cryptogamy and phanerogamy. So in cryptogamy we have seen the reproductive structure is hidden, and it will include three major groups. It will be algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. So here we are going to start with the division algae. So what are the characteristics of algae? So the first one is there will be no body differentiation. Means, as we all know that all the plants are most of the plants are well differentiated into stem, branches, leaves and roots. But if we see the structure of algae, like if we take the example of Chlamydomonas. So students, if I am saying the word Chlamydomonas, it doesn't mean that it is any species. This is a name of genera. So if you see the Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, so what you can see that they do not have any body differentiation. Means plant is not divided into plant, branches or roots. So that's why they are also called the thallophytes. It means there will be no body differentiation in algae. The next, they prefer aquatic habitat. So mostly algae prefer the aquatic habitats. They can be found in fresh water like ponds, lakes. They are also found in salty water. They are also found in marine habitat, sea habitat. So mostly they prefer the aquatic habitat. But there are some being terrestrial. Means there are some algae, they are also found on land. But they will be found in a moistened place, like a bark area or any damp places. Now, few algae grow on other plants. Like there are many algae who also grow on some other plants. Other than this, some algae also shows the symbiotic association. So this is a very important which we found in the lichens, where the algae shows the symbiotic association with the fungi. As what happens there, fungi provides the shelter and minerals to the algae, whereas algae provides the nutrition to the fungi. So they also shows the symbiotic association with fungi. Now, if you see the vegetative structure or thallus of algae, means if you see the body and what kind of body organization they show. So here they have a variety. They show variety of organization. Like some algae are small, unicellular and microscopic. Means there are many algae which are a single celled. They are unicellular and they cannot be seen from naked eye. We need microscope. Like we can take the example of chlorella. So chlorella is algae which is unicellular and a microscopic. Now a very important characteristic is first one is they are small, unicellular and microscopic. The next, some algae are multicellular, unbranched and filamentous. So here we can take the example of Eulothrix and one more other example is Spirogyra. So what you can see, they are multicellular. There are lot of cells are present in this algae. Means they are multicellular. The next, they are not branched. They do not show any kind of branches. So it is unbranched, and another one is it is filamentous. So they are motile also. So other than this, there are some algae, like if we talk about the sargassum, if we take the example sargassum, so it is microscopic. So it means that we can see them with naked eyes, and they show some kind of like if you see the plant, you will be found that you can see the leaves and the stem, but it is not a clear distinct in the sargassum or any kind of algae. The next very important is cell wall. So students, here in algae the cell wall will be two layered. Outer will be the pectin and the inner will be cellulose. As we all know that mostly cell wall is made up of cellulose. So what is the role of cellulose in cell wall? So if we talk about the cellulose, so it is a main load bearing structure. And what is the role of pectin? So it is a matrix, a jelly-like structure where cellulose or microfibril cellulosic are embedded. So this pectin is also provide the flexibility to the plant. So here if you see the cellulose and pectin, so both will provide the rigidity, strongness and as well as flexibility to the plant. Now other important characteristics, they have photosynthetic pigments, as they are come in the category of kingdom Plantae. So they would have a photosynthetic pigments because they are autotrophic. So here all the photosynthetic pigment will be present, like chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, D, xanthocyanin, fucoxanthin, and other than there are many carotenoids are also present in the form of pigments in the algae. Now, so here we have discussed about the photosynthetic pigments. Now, other than this, they also have a reserved food material in the form of complex starch. Like they have starch present. Other than this, they also present a laminarin. So laminarin is also a kind of complex starch which is reserved in a food material in the form of in the algae. Now, mannitol is also a kind of complex starch, and in some algae, the reserved food material is present in the form of floridon. So these are the few characteristics of algae. So students, if we talk about the reproductive structure of algae, so here what happens, what is reproduction? It means new individuals are formed. New individuals are formed their parents. Now here reproduction can be of three types: vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So here what we can say that algae can be reproduced by three methods. So what is vegetative reproduction? Here what happens, an algae will reproduce by its own in favorable condition as well as unfavorable condition. So if we talk about the vegetative reproduction, the first one is fragmentation. So what happens in fragmentation? If algae gets the favorable condition like proper space, water and nutrition, so they breaks down into pieces, and each and every piece will give rise to a new individual. So here if we take the example of Spirogyra, so you can see here Spirogyra, and it is breaks down into a 3 pieces, and each and every piece will give rise to a new individual. So it is a process of fragmentation, and it takes place during the favorable condition. So it is all about fragmentation. Now cell division. So algae also reproduce by the cell division. Here what is the method? It is a multiple fission. So what is the meaning of fission? It means the organism will be split into pieces, and the multiple number of new organism will be formed. So how it happens? Here many new individuals are formed, and here what happens? How the number of individuals and multiple number of individuals are formed? They are formed here. Nucleus divides repeatedly, and it takes place during unfavorable condition, and because it takes place during unfavorable condition, cyst formation will takes place. So what is this cyst? Cyst is nothing but it is a protective covering for the new cells, for the new organism in the unfavorable condition. So if we take the example of Chlamydomonas, so you can see here a Chlamydomonas is a unicellular. So here a single cell will be divided into multiple number of cells, and as it taking in unfavorable condition, because of that cyst formation will be takes place. So this is a cyst, that is a protective covering, and when cyst formation will takes place, nucleus will start dividing repeatedly, and because of that multiple number of new individuals will be formed. So what happens when this new organism will get the favorable condition? This cyst will be break down, and a number of multiple organism will be formed. So it is all about how algae reproduce vegetatively. It can be reproduced by the method of fragmentation, and it can also be divided by the cell division. So students, now we are going to talk about the asexual reproduction. So I think you must be knowing about what is asexual reproduction. So what happens in asexual reproduction? Here new individuals are formed from the single parents. As we all know that they are copies of their parents, and because they are formed from their single parents. So what happens in algae? What kind of asexual reproduction takes place in algae? So what happens here? Here a production of asexual spores takes place. Means here spores are formed the new individual, and these asexual spores are called the zoospores. Means in algae the asexual spores will be called the zoospores. And if we talk about the reproductive part, so it will be the zoosporangium. So what happens in asexual reproduction? New spores are formed, like new algae or new individual will be formed from the zoospores, right? This zoospores will be germinate and will give birth to the new algae. So if you see the mature algae, that this is a mature algae. Suppose that it is a mature algae. As we know that there is no differentiate, body is not differentiated into shoot, root or any leaves. So it can be like a thallus structure. So this thallus of structure, after passage of time or after some time, what will be happen? It will be give rise to a new spores from the reproductive part of zoosporangium. So what happens? This zoospore will again regerminate and will be form the new algae, and that will be the matured algae. So what is the quality of these zoospores? These zoospores will be motile, means they will be moved from one place to another place. So as they are motile, they will also be flagellated. So what we can say, the zoospores will be motile and flagellated. Now, so what is asexual reproduction? Here what happens? Asexual spores are formed in the form of zoospores, and the reproductive part will be called the zoosporangium, and these zoospores will be again germinate into the new algae. So it is all about the asexual reproduction in algae. Now, if we talk about the sexual reproduction, so students, if I am saying the word sexual reproduction, so what does it mean? It means fusion of male and female gamete will take place. Because we all know that here both the parents will be involved. Now, if we talk about the gametes, so what are the gametes? These are nothing but they are the sex cells. The gamete will be haploid. Because why it is haploid? Because they have a one set of chromosomes will be present. Now, if we talk about the algae, so here a gamete can be of three types: isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. So students, if I talk about the isogamous, so if you see the word isogamous, so iso means similar. The word itself says that they are similar. So here what happened? The gametes will be similar in size. We can take the example of Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra. So here a Chlamydomonas will be genera. So some gametes, some species of Chlamydomonas will be isogamous in nature. Means their gametes will be similar in size. As we all know that gametes can be motile, gametes can be of non-motile. But if I talk about the isogamous, what will be the thing that will be similar in size? There can be flexibility. Maybe one gamete can be motile and another can be non-motile. Maybe both the gamete will be motile, and it can also be happen that both the gamete will be non-motile, or so whosoever be gamete, it can be motile, non-motile, or both can be non-motile, or both can be motile, but they will be similar in size. Like if we talk about the Chlamydomonas, so here gamete will be similar in size and it will be motile. But if we take the example of Spirogyra, what happens? Here both the gametes will be non-motile. So it is all about the isogamous. Now, isogamous kind of gamete means gamete will be similar in size. Now, if we talk about the anisogamous, so aniso means they will be dissimilar in size. They will not be similar in size. Like maybe they can be motile, non-motile, both can be motile, both can be non-motile. It will be a flexible, but the gamete will be dissimilar in size. So here we can also take the example of Chlamydomonas. Means Chlamydomonas is a generic. It's a genera name, but the species can be isogamous gamete also, and in some species the gamete can be of anisogamous type. Now, oogamous type. So if I am talking about the oogamous, here what happens? One gamete will be larger and non-motile. Means the one gamete, what will be happen? It will be non-motile. It cannot move and it will be larger in size. But whereas another gamete will be motile and smaller in size. So it will be smaller in size. So in oogamous what happens? One gamete will be larger and motile, non-motile, whereas another gamete will be motile and smaller in size. So as if you know what, there is one more example of oogamous. Can you guess what is that? Yes, it can be a human being. Here a gamete, like if I talk about the egg, so it will be non-motile and larger in size, whereas if you talk about the sperm, it will be smaller and motile. So what we have seen that here in asexual sexual reproduction, it takes place because of fusion of male and female gamete. So gamete can be of three types: isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. So in isogamous, gamete will be similar in size, whereas in anisogamous, gamete will be dissimilar in size. And if I talk about the oogamous, the one gamete will be large and non-motile, whereas another will be motile and smaller in size. I have not written about smaller, but it will be smaller in size. Now, if I talk about what kind of sexual reproduction and what kind of life cycle they shows, so what happens here? If you see that what happens, suppose that it is a male gamete. So male gamete will be antherozoid, and if I talk about the female gamete, it will be egg. So what would happen in sexual reproduction? Both the gamete will be fused, and after fusion, as we all know, what happens? The zygote will be formed. So this zygote, if I talk about this zygote, so this zygote will be produce the spores. As earlier what I have said, that in asexual reproduction there is a they are come in the category of cryptogamy. So they do not produce any kind of seed, they just produce the spores. So these spores will be again germinate and will form the new colony. So this kind of sexual reproduction takes place in algae. Now, if I talk about the life cycle of algae, so here alternation of generation takes place. Like one part of the gamete can be of haploid and another phase can be of diploid. So that will be discussed in latter part. So what we have seen, what happens in how thus reproduction takes place in algae, it can be of three types: vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So if I talk about the vegetative reproduction, here what happens? It can be in the form of fragmentation or cell division. So what happens in fragmentation? Here a parent body will break down. Suppose that if I take the example of Spirogalla, which I have already taken. So what happens there? Each and every part of the body breaks down and all the three pieces can give rise to the new individual. So it is all about the fragmentation. Then we have discussed about the multiple fission. So what happens? Like multiple fission takes place under the unfavorable condition. So because of that, cyst will be formed, and when cyst will be formed, nucleus will be divided repeatedly and multiple number of new organisms will be formed. So it is all about the vegetative reproduction. Now what we have seen in asexual reproduction, here are new spores will be formed and will be formed from the single parent, and these spores are called the zoospores. So as if you see here, what happens here? A mature algae will, after a passage of time, will give rise to a new spores, and these spores are called the zoospores, and then again these spores will be formed into a mature algae. So here a reproductive part will be the zoosporangium. Now, in what we have discussed in sexual reproduction, here fusion of male and female gamete will take place. As we all know that what is the meaning of sexual reproduction? Means both the gametes will be fused and they will form the zygote, and in algae the new zygote will be formed, releases the spores, and these spores will be again germinate and will form the new colony. So here gamete can be of three types: isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. So in isogamous, gamete will be similar in size. In anisogamous, gamete will be dissimilar in size. Yeah, flexibility can be there. Maybe both the gametes will be motile. So we have taken the example of Chlamydomonas. Maybe both the gametes will not be motile. So here you can take the example of Spirogyra. What happens? The flexibility can be of like one gamete will be motile and another will be non-motile. So it is all about the isogamous. Now same is in anisogamous. The flexibility will be in motile, the movement of the gamete, and not movement in the gamete, but they will be dissimilar in size.